the intro.
Oh, don't you play music? Oh, it says it's live. Oh, there's the tweet.
Oh, there's the tweet. There's the tweet.
There's the tweet.
Oh, look at this little bird. He's like a little baby, like trying to crawl out of the nest, trying to learn to fly, and then he falls to the ground and gets eaten by a fucking lizard.
Man, that is disgusting.
Welcome to the podcast, people. I'm Bootleg Shockwave.
Okay, we are officially live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gaming for Australia, and welcome to podcast episode number 9. My name is UnDead.
I'm the Fez.
As I said, I am Bootleg Shockwave, or mascot of the beast.
Beast mascot of the beast. However you would like to call him. Whatever his name is, he's just very...
Whatever he decides to put on the spot, basically.
Those people, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna call me faggot, and I would be completely fine with it because I wouldn't look at the chat.
I need to actually open the chat.
Even though I'm gonna have it. Yeah, even though I'm gonna have it open this entire time.
Okay,
yeah.
mine's open now.
So I'm in chat. So for those,
I'm in chat too.
Yeah.
It's on the screen.
I mean, so far, if people have gotten into this streak, if they're watching right now, all they see in the chat is just a bunch of links, people leaving, and then the Feds saying "eat man."
Well, the YouTube comments is still just us. You testing the blockage and then
me actually testing
hi.
as well. Oh, and before we start, mostly, I would like to say thanks for the people who joined us on that Cards Against Humanity game on Thursday. If that guy is watching right now, he got that reference.
Because I wasn't there, because I have a life, surprisingly enough. Well, I mean, the closest thing I have to a life is high school, but then again, the entire time you're there, you're just dead inside anyway.
Well, it's actually kind of funny because the way we're broadcasting with Google Hangouts, because Google Hangouts handles the upload speed, all that other crap, blah, 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 blah. Because we have different size cameras, like I have a 720p camera, the Fez is 720p, and whatever Beast Mascot's camera is, it's very different because of the different sizes. Like you may notice, like the box, like the big box, like when Beast stalks, it's talks, not stalks.
I stalk the field.
You might as well.
Yeah, because of the different sizes.
I stalk the fields, looking for absolutely terrible fanfictions to read on the podcast.
You're crazy.
I'm not actually looking for fanfictions, but if you guys want me to, I can find a fanfiction and read it.
Please
That's alright. But
Lachlan said alright.
I said no. Whatever. I don't care. We're here for an hour. We're here for an entire bloody hour. What the hell are we gonna do? I know.
Well, do you guys want to start up the topics, or should I?
Well, I know you want to talk about the new God of War. I wouldn't mind talking a little bit about the new No Man's Sky because.
Oh wait! I've already shared Jordan this, but I want to share you, Lachlan. Right. Hang on. Just gonna So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the image he's got for the where his camera doesn't play.
What? No. I got my image from my phone, taking a picture from the Transformers Full Cybertron multiplayer when I made a character. That's why I said bootleg Shockwave.
Alright.
Right, so, Fez, I guess, God of War. What's new?
Okay, God of War, it's really interesting. Instead of being focused on the Greek mythology, it is actually using Norse mythology. Also, Viking, I think, is a little bit in there, but what has happened is we basically decided to take from the Indians and take us to Norse mythology. The axe that he is wielding, because now instead of having two flaming swords, he now has two frozen axes. Please, if you want to ask about anything relating to the thing, you can. And apparently, as well as being ice axe, he can also retract and throw the axe, meaning he can also use hand-to-hand combat. It looks like he does have the Spartan ability still with him, which is Spartan Rage. I had a few questions asked about how he ended up having a family and how that is a little weird since he ended up massacring the first family. Then again,
Yeah, I might have a few questions about that too. What's with the new family?
well, apparently it's, as I said, it's a new family. All we know is there's a son, and apparently the family is a family of hunters, apparently. In fact, the first mission is, or I think it is, from the trailer, apparently. It's hunting a deer with your son, apparently.
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure who you play as. Do you play as the son, or do you play actually as...
No, it looks like you play as the God of War character. It's probably because
Okay.
it was an escort mission, but you were learning from him as well. It's probably like, if you want to get, you could probably go on hunts with your son, and like after a while you hunt bigger and better game. Yes? Yes, Ben?
Two things. As first mission, escort mission, kill yourself, people who made that game. Second, what if Kratos is actually resurrected by this group of hunters because his legacy went through history, and they used rituals to resurrect him? Think about that.
Actually, it does make a lot of sense, but then again, when you
Didn't think about that, did you? I mean, it's Norse mythology.
I have a feeling that might be like halfway through the third game that this happened. Like, somehow he just didn't kill everyone and didn't commit suicide. Instead of committing suicide like in the third game with the Sword of Olympus, he basically just... No,
here's my theory that I just made up on the spot, and I don't have God of War, so I don't know if this is entirely accurate, but...
It's alright, it's just our opinion.
Yeah, so Kratos goes to the afterlife, but then, since the Greek gods are dead, like, because he traveled back in time and killed them during the War of the Titans, the Norse gods come and take over, because they probably evolved from the Titans. And so the new Norse gods want to bring Kratos back to make sure that the Earth that they rule over is just as they want. So they find a way to bring Kratos back, but give him slightly newer powers, and instead resurrect him in the form of making him a new man with a new family, because Kratos changed history, so there's no more Greek gods because he went back and killed them all, so the Titans took over and evolved into Norse gods.
This is the thing that might have a hole in your situation. I played God of War 3, so I played through the whole thing. I remember every little step that I had to take. Basically, you had to kill every freaking Titan on the way up from the chains of, I believe it is. So, you kill like 4 Titans or something, and then you have to kill Gaia, which is the god of nature, which is the Titan of nature, sorry. But the idea that new gods appeared to, I don't know, because the problem is, each time you killed a god, a different, like, plague happened, basically. Like, if you take out Hermes, a plague of freaking, like, crop-killing freaking, things happen. You know? Oh, by the way, for those who are wondering, it's about lunchtime, so that's why Beast is eating at the moment.
I'm thinking about the same thing. I'm kind of getting hungry.
Yeah, I'm thinking about eating some chips as well.
Yeah, well, I stand by that theory. Until you can confirm it or prove it wrong, Jordan, I stand by that theory that the Titans, whatever remained, evolved into Norse gods. And then the female Titan that convinced Kratos to go back in time and kill the gods was like, look, we need to honor this person. He's helped us.
This is the thing. While you're defeating Odin, you're also killing God.
No, they're killing the Greek gods, then the Titans take over and become the Norse gods.
This is the thing. This is the hole that's in your thing. Gaia is the female Titan that helped you. Basically, after being cast in Hades, again, basically you go up and halfway through it, you basically go through Gaia and do a whole bunch of stuff, basically. But in the end, I believe no, I think you do kill him, actually. Yeah, you kill everyone, basically. You killed Gaia, the being of, like, life and stuff. You killed basically everyone who could sprout life, basically.
Oh, I was going to say there for a second. Just killed everyone, like everyone living on Earth.
Oh, wait. There was one guard that he didn't kill, but that's because he slayed her a different way. But, PG, trying to keep that,
Haha, sex jokes.
Wait,
Yeah.
what?
Oh yeah, in God War 3 you can actually,
He defeated the female god in a different way.
Oh,
he's
yeah, I
slayed
get it
that
now.
god, okay?
Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't click the first time, but I get it now, yeah.
Anyway,
Fucking clicked in your small brain.
Hey, not all brains are the same
anyway,
size.
so basically, kills every god and every titan except this one god, she slays a different way. So, what happened? Did he make another god of war? And the god of war
Jordan, I figured out why they brought them, why they're making a new God of War again. Because reboots and making it rain. Not
But
cheesy
this is
bacon
the
rolls,
thing.
but
This is the thing. It's a lot different now. There's skill trees. There's apparently skill trees and stuff. Just
yeah,
from
it's a
looking at
reboot. Yes, Jordan, it's a reboot.
in Norse mythology, it's not like Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Still,
the thing is,
I
they
didn't play
always.
God of War. I didn't play God of War. The only thing I knew about the first two God of Wars is that I watched the God of War 1 and 2 full storyline cinematic film. So I watched all the cutscenes. I didn't watch the third one. So I just figured that, maybe the Titans took over and wanted to bring Kratos back.
Yeah, well, I played through the third game. I finished everything basically.
Well, unfortunately for me, I only played, I think, like the first 20 minutes of the first game. I never get to finish it.
Well, this is the thing. I played the second and the third one. Yes, I didn't play the first one, but that's the thing. There was no first one
You're
when I went
missing
to go
out.
buy it. Which
I
sort
didn't
of
have it in
sucks.
store.
Anyway, so I played the third game, which there's a whole giant calamity that's happening as he kills the gods in order. And so basically, the idea is by killing Poseidon, he kill. Yes, the first god is one of the major gods, Poseidon.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing battle for an introduction battle.
Oh,
Yeah, so-
definitely that would be an
With
amazing
every
battle.
god he kills, he brings a disaster. So he kills Hermes, droughts happen. He kills Poseidon, floods happen.
Hermes, when he kills Hermes, a swarm of locusts appear, and a plague of locusts appear. When he kills,
I thought Hermes was the god of the sun.
Oh no, there's like two freaking Hermes in that game. It's really weird. The one who can move really fast, and the one who can freaking use the sun. If you're talking about the sun one, yes, he blacks out the sun. The sun is no longer a factor.
Oh, I thought the drought would happen.
Yeah.
Because it's so hot. Because Greece just becomes Australia for like a couple months, so the drought happens.
Oh no. The sun gets blocked out by this. Blocked out. It's the sun's gone basically, and you've got this head basically that you can use.
I love how I
Hang on.
said Greece becomes Australia for a couple months, so it becomes a drought, yet I'm wearing a jumper.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
it's in the middle of winter. It's like 12 degrees. It's cold.
I'm
Which is funny
enjoying it.
because for 2 weeks in a row, I was nearly sweating to death.
I hear that on that.
Wow.
Because it was sweating. It was hot here.
It felt like summer in winter.
Just wait till spring comes along. Oh, everyone's gonna die.
Everyone's gonna die.
First day of spring, my birthday, death of humanity.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Anyway.
kind of suck.
So basically, in the middle of the third game, he must have stopped killing them probably before he killed Hermes, the sun god, the sun god.
The sun what?
The sun god, sorry, language.
Yeah, he can't speak English today.
Can't English today.
Good English, bruh.
Anyway, so basically, the idea is he stopped before he started killing every single guy because he just felt like it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, your overall opinion, do you think the new God of War game is going to be an amazing game, or is it just going to fall out and just be just another God of War?
I see
This
what
is
you
the
did there,
thing.
Lachlan.
This is the thing. This new God of War feels like it's trying to reboot the system. It's trying to continue from beforehand. Because the fact is,
Hey Jordan,
by
I just performed a Hermes on Fortress Maximus.
oh yeah, but you need both hands to do that, and like do a very slow thrust pulling motion.
No, it's fine. It's supposed to do that because the whole idea behind Fortress Maximus is that he's a headmaster, so his head becomes a robot.
Alright. Anyway,
So as soon as I'm done, which doesn't take very long.
so anyway, back to what Lachlan asked me, which was, do I think that it was...
We have Cerebros.
Alright then. Anyway, back to the question that Lachlan, UnDead, asked was, basically, do I feel like it's good to restart from a section in the third game, which...
No, he asked if you think that the new God of War is going to be good or not.
Or is it just another God of War game?
I do believe it's going to be a different rehash of God of War. I believe it's going to be a, like, open world version.
Exactly, it's a reboot.
But the thing is, if you played the third game, you're going to feel like you're being cheated because of the noble sacrifice at the end.
Well, I haven't played that the third one. Like I said, I have only played like the first 20 minutes, maybe half an hour of the first game.
Yeah.
When a new not Call
A
of Duty,
lot of shit happened, man. A lot of shit happened. Let's just say that.
Like when people say, "Oh, we're bringing out another game," like God of War, they're bringing out another God of War. It's like, but I haven't even finished the first one. I didn't even know there was a second and third.
Yeah, well, there's been... No, wait one moment. Is Retribution the beginning of this new God of War franchise? I'm just thinking right now, out of context. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
But apparently Retribution is a different beginning to the story. Apparently, it has the Sisters of Fate again. Holy shit, Retribution is another God of War game. Not the first game, it's just another one. I haven't played it. Damn it.
Are you going to play it?
Oh, I really want to now, but I think they're all out at the game shop. Oh my god, my brain is blown right now.
Mine isn't because I don't care.
Yeah, well, I play God of War, so yeah.
Another thing that's actually recently blown my mind is freaking the new No Man's Sky. It is like 3 days away. It comes out this Tuesday.
But this is the thing now I have to ask questions about.
Yeah.
Does your computer have to actually render the entire universe? Because if it has to, then people with terrible PCs aren't going to be able to play it.
Well, I wouldn't know, because I'm written it on PS4.
That's what I worry about, because you'd have to find out how big your rig has to be to actually play it.
Then off the top of my head, I'm just going to guess, probably 16 gigs of RAM at minimum, with probably freaking 6 gig of graphics.
At a minimum, mind you.
That's a minimum.
Minimum.
And probably at least a hard drive with more than like 60 gigs.
What I think it's going to do
What
is
I'm
that it's going to load, like, chunks. Oh no, go ahead, make more rapping noises and interrupt me. No, what I think it's going to do, it's going to load huge chunks of the universe, but it's not going to load the entire thing. And when you leave that chunk of the universe that it loaded, it will save what happened. And then and then when you go back, it'll just randomly, like, create a situation formed from the data that was last saved. That's what I think they'll do.
Well, I kind of
hopefully
agree
that-
with that. Like, they might render the section that you're in, like, up to, I don't know, a few meters ahead of you and stuff, and then it de-renders the things behind you. So if you're
But
constantly
then-
moving back and forth...
The thing is, you're going to have to lower down the graphics. That means so that you could play it without major lag problems.
If you've got a minimum rig, of course you'd have to put the graphics down, so you could even like get the minimum like 30 frames to play a proper game. But if you
No
got
Man's
a
Sky
decent
looks
rig-
kind of boring.
Yeah, even though it's like a universe with like people in the server, the thing is, it's a universe. The fact is, you are going to have such a hard time trying to find your friends, let alone your enemies.
Exactly, like I've read somewhere that it's going to take a normal human being over 5 million years to cover the entire surface of the game, and plus it's going to take them an additional longer time to meet up with friends or to actually find your friends, because you spawn all over the place.
Maybe,
No two people
just
spawn in the
maybe.
same area. That's how big it is.
What you do is that you settle down on the planet that you are on, then communicate with your friends. You slowly figure out, using like communications and stuff, and figuring out graphically where you are in the universe. You will then be able to meet with each other. It would take a long time.
It would still take you a long time to get to each other, because no two people spawn in the same place.
The thing is, if that's the case, then you could be a million stars away from you could be years apart from each other in real life.
Light years.
Yeah, like I said, I read
light years away from each other.
It would take like 5 million years or something, human years, to cover the entire surface of the game.
It could
it is unfinishable kind of thing.
Exactly.
That's how big it is.
It's the size is big, but the fact is, it's so big that it will become a problem for people who just want to, I don't know, say, hi, do you want to trade, you know?
Yeah, I just posted the link to the thumbnail that Lachlan is working on for this in the Hangout chat. If you want to have a look at it, Jordan, unless you've already seen it.
I'll check it.
What's that?
The thumbnail for the podcast when you get rid of the video and just the audio like you said you would do.
Oh yeah, that, yeah.
Also, I just realized that when I show that the transformer I have, it's not going to translate well because you're cutting out the visuals. Unless you just find like a stock image of Titan's Return Fortress Maximus online, then
Well, the way... I don't know, for audio file, it'll be uploaded to the podcast website and be uploaded to iTunes and all that.
oh good.
So it's just audio. The people on YouTube, like the video, this is what they're seeing right now, well, 3 people are seeing.
Oh god, they must regret seeing our faces.
Well, the thing is,
I mean, look at the hair.
I'm on the podcast right now watching it, so who else here is watching the podcast right now?
Probably 2 other people, because I'm not. I've only got my chat open, and it doesn't count to being a view.
Hang on.
How about you? Ben,
Yeah.
are you opened up on the podcasting? Because
Yeah, I've got it open now. So, oh god.
so we only got one guy joining us.
Well,
So hello.
it would be 2 people, because Ben just joined, therefore it'll be 4 views, still 2 people watching. Like 2 public people.
Yeah, while this podcast is going, I'm gonna play an offline game of Xbox 360, Black Ops 3 Zombies: Shadows of Evil.
As long as you don't have your volume too loud, because copyright claims.
Yeah.
Just take
No,
the precautions.
No, you can't hear it. You can't hear it anyway. You barely even feel it. It's just a tip. Just a tip.
That's what she said.
I knew you would do that, Jordan. And now I want you to go jump off the nearest bridge and hopefully create a tsunami from the splash that you make.
But this is the thing. I have Monte Carlos.
What? I get it.
Why would I die if I got these?
Because when you fall into the water, it creates a bigger splash when you eat them all.
Okay, this is the question. Where are we measuring the splashes? Are we measuring from height or width? Because
Width and yeah, I'd say width. Can you guys hear the game? Because
Nope.
nope.
Good. Good.
Actually, that's a really good topic that you just bring up. When someone jumps into the water affects the splash, the wave that comes after it, all that kind of thing. How many games do you think of, or have thought of, that doesn't have that effect?
A
Call
lot.
of Duty.
Games like Assassin's Creed, they don't do it enough to sell the effect that you're jumping into water.
Call of Duty doesn't do that.
Yes, Call of Duty is another one.
Any game that is recently out, basically. The fact is, they're trying to render that, trying to figure out the height that you fall from, the weight of the character, the amount, the question of density of that character depending on their weight. It's really, really complicated. And just to figure that out, if you had a customizable character, then it would just really alter the game. It would break the game, basically.
That's why you don't see many games do it, because the complex code behind it is not worth putting it in. It's not worth the time to code it in. So
However, they do show ripples. That's the only thing. They do the longitude. They do outwards, but they don't do height because height and outwards would do a lot of. It would mess with the system, basically.
Definitely.
Playing this game right now, I kind of want to bring up the downgrade between ports from Xbox One, Xbox 360, and previous consoles to next-gen consoles. Because I'm playing this, and this looks fucking awful. This looks like... This is cancer. I can feel the tumors growing on my back from looking at this.
Oh my god, I know where that meme comes from.
Yes, Jordan. Yes, you do. You should be ashamed of yourself, as I am ashamed at this moment. I am quoting our Lord and Savior, Francis of the Filth.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Filthy Frank, motherfuckers.
It's Filthy Frank, bitch.
Oh, it's funny because I haven't actually watched some things. I've just seen his memes. Like, it's time to stop.
It's time to stop, okay? I actually did want to... the downgraded... you guys really should look up the comparison between the two. It's actually disgusting.
Mm.
I mean, they've had 2 years to make this game from the regular 1 year for each Call of Duty game. Because contrary to popular belief, they don't take 3 years to make the games now. They only have 2 years because they were working on the DLC for the first year that they were apparently working on it.
Yeah, but the thing is, you'd think you'd have like a group dedicated to DLC and another group to actually building a game.
That's all the one.
No. Exactly. And thing is, there's so much stuff on the next-gen version of this game. I just think that what they could have done is that they could have just made their own maps. Like, they could have just made completely different maps that were compatible with this, with Xbox 360.
Yeah. Have you guys heard about the new Evolve thing that allows you to actually get where it's free to play now?
Wait, what?
Evolve Stage 2. Search it up. It's actually it's now free to play.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's free to play now. It's free to play now.
It'll probably be a massive game that I don't want to download.
It's free to play, but the fact is, you have to earn money in game. So there's in-game currency now, so you don't pay real money, and you have to purchase new characters.
Ooh.
Speaking of Valve and how every time they release a Team Fortress 2 short, it makes me wish they had a television show. Perfect segue, by the way. What video game do you think would make a good TV show?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh, I gotta really think about this.
Yeah.
And the obvious answer would be like the Telltale games with the Batman shit.
This is the thing. We have to put a guideline. It cannot be originally from a TV show or movie. So.
It can't be a tie-in game. It can't be a tie-in game. And you have to think of the directors and like the actors.
Prototype. How about Prototype? Prototype would be a good one.
Prototype.
Oh yeah.
I got one. That's basically the only one I got. Maybe Darkness.
Who would wait? The Darkness.
The Darkness.
The one where the guy. Is that the one where the guy gets tendrils coming out of his back that eats people's hearts? That's based on a comic, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, is it?
It's based on a comic.
Oh, I had no idea. So.
It's based on a comic.
Well, I just say that would make a really interesting like TV show because, think about his struggle.
That would be an interesting Netflix exclusive because their like Marvel shit is really good. I
Yeah.
actually can't wait for the Luke Cage series.
Imagine the Darkness, the movie. Imagine like him having to fight mobsters with, like like
But
him
here's the
phasing in and
downgrade
out.
between a video game being like compressed to another form of media is that you take away the feeling of interaction with it. So like you have like a mansion,
True,
but in the
but this
movie
also
they only go in like 1 or 2 rooms in the hallway. But in the game you could go in any room you want.
yeah, I agree with you. But this is the thing. As yes, you don't get the ability to interact with the film, but the thing is they can introduce new powers that you couldn't use because it would have been game breaking in the game. So, for example, he could now, I don't know, shift in the shadows and now walk around by the shadows. He could now basically become Spawn if you really think about it.
So
Well, I
basically,
just pulled up this game,
Ah!
the Evolve Stage 2.
oh,
yeah.
sorry,
It
I
is
got spooked by
absolutely
this.
free to play.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry,
quite surprised.
I got spooked by the sudden screen change. I was
Yeah.
getting used to Jordan's
You
face,
thought-
unfortunately.
Did you
so-
guys think that I was joking about that? No.
Honestly, I did. Honestly, until I searched it up, honestly, I did think it was...
It's free to play now. And
No, I didn't think you were joking because the game's made by Valve, and Team Fortress 2 is free to play, so I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah. But this
Especially
is the
since
thing.
Team Fortress 2 has evolved so much, it has its own economy. Yeah, I can see that it'd be free to play.
This is the thing. Now with the free-to-play game, if you bought the original one and got the DLC from it, you get those characters and you get those skins
It's a huge game.
at the beginning. Yeah, it's a
It's-
very big game.
Like, it is massive. 19,479 meg. Does that mean it's like 19 gigs?
So yeah, for the people watching, yes, I play Call of
Wow.
Duty, and yes, I play it because I just play it so like I listen to podcasts and shit. Not this one particularly. I mean, ones that have like better production qualities, so production values. That's the phrase I was looking for. Like Sleepycast. But yeah, I just do it. I just play the game.
Yeah.
Also, because the zombie storyline is it's complete insanity, and I would not recommend you start reading on it. There's actually like a 4-hour YouTube documentary called "The Entire Zombie Storyline Up to Black Ops 2." It's really good, but it's for 4 hours long, so I wouldn't blame you for not being able to listen to the entire thing.
I could
Okay.
probably sit there for 4 hours.
For those who are interested, I'm bringing back Plague Inc. Evolved, because as much
Oh
of
my
you
God.
know, that my computer crashed and I had to go through it again. So
Plague Inc. is such a satisfying game when you actually
it's
get the
such
shit
a good
right.
game.
But when you fail multiple times, like I did,
When you
with
fail,
one of the
it
games,
becomes a rage game.
my dad actually told me to delete the game if it made me angry, and I'm like, oh, okay, I won't do that because it's the sense of completion. Every human feels that.
Yeah.
It's a psychological thing where you feel like you have to have something done.
Yeah, because you're constantly interacting with the game. You're constantly interacting with some play.
Yep, some form of play. Yeah. And whenever you fail, you know it's your fault unless it's some bullshit.
I
Like,
Yeah,
wouldn't mind
like-
to play the new update of Plague Inc. with the multiplayer. Like, I think that would be kind of cool, like Fez and I just versing, trying to take down the entire world.
and then I'd be with one of you guys, and I'd be I wouldn't be in the same room, but one of you guys would be playing the game, and I'd be talking like, "Oh man, guys, AIDS jokes. Who want to make AIDS jokes, guys?" No, I wouldn't do that. That'd be gay. But
No, I'd be naming my plague like different things, like Fallout 4, like for the brain bug, which I did.
there's actually a plague custom scenario called Nazi Zombies, which would work if I was playing this at the same time, even though
I
it's
saw
not
the
Nazi
custom
Zombies.
scenarios. I saw how they added that. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plague Inc. Evolved is exactly that. It's evolved from being a fun little mobile game to an actual game.
Yeah.
Was it mobile or desktop first?
It
No,
was original.
mobile first. It was mobile
This-
first, but then they made the desktop version because it got so popular.
This is the thing. Plague Inc. originally was a spin-off game from Pandemic 2, and if you have played Pandemic 2, it's a good game as well. It's basically the same game, except it's a Flash game, and it was really fun. I played it
There's
myself.
nothing wrong with Flash games, though. Flash
Exactly.
games are actually pretty fun.
Speaking of Flash games, did you know that Call of Duty Zombies was inspired by The Last Stand?
Oh, I love Last Stand.
Yeah, it was inspired by it.
Yeah.
And it was a muck around thing that they did on the side in World at War. But then they were like, oh, alright, release it to the public, it seems alright. And then history was
so
made.
many people liked it.
Yeah, so many people liked it. Especially when they started added the story of complete insanity. It's gotten to the point where they're involving different realities and Cthulhu-like monsters.
They did actually in a DLC.
No, they've added the Cthulhu stuff in the main starter map, the default map you get with Black Ops 3. Because it's in the 1940s American, city district. But there's, a boss that is basically based off a Cthulhu creature from the Cthulhu mythos.
Mm.
And the maps are more focused on telling a story now because the person in charge of the zombies, part of Treyarch, Jason Blundell, who we in the zombies community refer to as God. Not really, but we do refer to him in such a status for the zombies. He focuses more on the story element of the map rather than the playability. However, two or three of the maps in Black Ops 3 so far have been considered as good. That would be the Giant, the remake of Deriz, the Eisendrache, or the Iron Dragon, if you want to speak like a fucking English person, and then Gorod, the latest map, which takes place in Stalingrad.
So
And
do
the
any
whole-
of you got game-related stuff as well?
I've been playing Transformers Devastation. That was fun. That is fun.
I heard about a
Transformers
new
Devastation.
Telltale game.
Oh, the Batman one?
The new Batman game.
Yeah, I watched Jacksepticeye play it, and I've also seen someone called YourMovieSucks.org play it. And,
Is it another
really-
Batman game?
no,
Well,
no,
it
it's...
It adds
The story,
to the Batman's story.
The story, the new story is basically saying that that Batman's parents were actually gangsters because they were involved with Falcone. Is he from the comics? I don't know. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I
That
thought so
sounds a lot
too.
That sounds a lot more interesting than just some $1 million millionaires with no real background.
Yeah.
Yeah, that brings interest in the actual
Yeah.
background because it was just some millionaire child whose parents got killed and he just got scared by bats, so he decided to dress up as a bat.
No,
Yeah,
that's the thing. He wanted to imprint fear onto the crime of Gotham City, so he dressed up as the thing he feared the most, which is a bat.
Yeah. Except that cape would get a little bit annoying to maneuver around. By the way, Ben, or
Yeah?
Beast, you are so small in the shot. So
Yeah,
That's
You're
because I'm sitting to the right of the couch.
Right.
I was
Well-
like,
One thing that the Telltale games, like the actual people that make the Telltale games, have done.
They need a
is they've
better
done, like,
engine. They need a better game engine because the engine that they're using doesn't really allow for like facial expressions. Even though they're a story-based game development company, they need a better engine. They need to upgrade.
Definitely, yeah. But they did the
They
Walking
need to have
Dead.
like an Until Dawn engine, except with a smoother frame rate, and with the good art style, so they can excuse like the terrible frame rate. And the animations are just too clunky. That's kind of like the stuff I would do. I would like that would be the best I would do right now if I was doing 3D animation and I had the patience for it.
They don't really need a really fast motion thing because
they don't really
it's a story-driven game. It's not really a shooter.
Yeah, they don't need the best engine, but they need a better engine that they have right now.
They need an updated version.
But like I said,
they really need a better.
Anyway, like I said, they did the Walking Dead, the Minecraft story mode, the Game of Thrones,
which sounds as terrible as it is.
By the way, Minecraft is non-canon. Basically, it's just trying to make Minecraft seem like it's a story, even though it's a player experience.
They did Jurassic Park.
Minecraft is nothing.
And they also did
I like the Wolf Among Us. I like the universe that it sets up. I like the Wolf Among Us as a universe, but I don't like it that it's developed by Telltale because the choices are important. Gameplay isn't really, because when you replay the game, you definitely see like the way they cheat with the illusion of free choice, which they completely ruined with The Walking Dead Season 2, because the people that didn't like Kenny in the first game were forced to interact with him, even when they made Clementine say, "I don't want to talk to Kenny," they would guilt trip the character Clementine into talking with him anyway, but even though the player wouldn't want to talk to him.
Yeah.
Like I
Not only that,
finished.
but with The Walking Dead Season 2, the final choice, the most important choice of the game, depending on how you play both seasons, that could be the easiest fucking choice of the entire game.
Yeah. Well, I recently finished a game called Life is Strange, and I'm actually quite surprised.
That one has plenty of issues.
Yeah, it kind of fucked around with my mind a little, but
No, not that kind of issues. I mean, like story issues. Like, there's a scene where you're trying to prove to your best friend that you have like time travel powers, and like what she makes you do is that she makes you guess what items are in the pocket. Then you rewind time when she shows you the items in her pocket, when you could just fucking teleport to her, because when you're time traveling, you're not moving along with time. You're in the same spot.
Yeah, but I think it's sort of like a rewind power. It's not really like moving through time. It's more like rewinding through time.
Yeah, it's a reversing time thing. But you don't move on doing it, so you could theoretically teleport with it. But
that's not what I meant.
But the main character doesn't do that because he's a fucking idiot, and instead just goes with the stupid option of just, you gotta do this to make the game more redundant and annoying.
This is the thing. This is what I meant by that power. There's two different variations. The one you're talking about and the other one that I'm talking about. And the other one I'm talking about is like a deja vu power, which is basically, you know what's going to happen before it happens. And by rewinding, you're actually rewinding you as well as the time yourself.
It's not a deja vu power in this series. It's the first one. She's just reversing time.
But the thing is, if she gets rewinded to the exact same point, then wouldn't you feel like you just did this thing again? Yes, she recalls all her memories from beforehand.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't, because none of the characters acknowledge that they feel like they've done something like that before in the game when it happens.
Except for the person that you play as, which is...
Yes, because she reverses time, which is never explained why or how she can do that. Well, it explains how, but not why she has it, or when she got it.
This is what I believe.
Details are important.
This is what I believe. Her power is not really to move back through time, but to see an outcome and to see every single way it could come out.
Hmm.
So, in other words, she can...
No, they specifically state that she just reverses time. Also, I've seen someone play through the game and then reversing to a point where they want to like perform an action, but the game just keeps reversing. They tried to stop the reversing process, but they couldn't, even
I had
though...
that problem as well. I was
that's
would
the
be
thing.
reversing somewhere, and it says, and then I tried to stop it, and then it just doesn't, and it continues
And
to go
another
back, or I have to continue to go back.
Another thing is that at random moments, out of nowhere, it just says that you can't reverse time, or you can reverse further than you actually can, which is absolutely retarded. It breaks its own rules in the first episode when she can only reverse to like 20 seconds in the past in the normal game. However, in the first cutscene where she witnesses Chloe getting murdered, she reverses back like up to 2.5 minutes before that happens. So the game's breaking its own rules before you even get to the gameplay. Well, not before you get to the gameplay, but before you even get past the intro.
This is
That's
the thing.
how they'll show.
You know how you're saying that they should stay in the exact same spot? Like,
yeah, like she
when they
doesn't
start
stay in
the
the exact same... Even in that cutscene, when she reverses time, she ends up back in the classroom, which isn't normally happens in the game.
But this is the thing. This is what you're not counting. By reversing time, you're reversing all the molecules in the universe to basically to a point of time. So, basically, by reversing time, you're reversing everything, including yourself, because you're reversing the molecular back to the spot. So basically...
No, the main character doesn't change at all. In fact, the only thing that she accomplishes with reversing time is making herself age faster than everyone else. Because she doesn't change, everything else does.
What if it's just the fact that she's getting all the knowledge back from when she started the reversing back?
No,
so basically...
The people that made the game specifically stated that she reverses time. She's not getting information from the future. She doesn't have a stand, which would be dumb, but I would accept that because that's an explanation to how she gets her powers. But not only that, like, it's just inconsistent with her powers throughout the entire series. Also, episode 2 with the bottle sequence. You will never be forgiven for that.
This is the thing. What I'm saying to you, you're not really thinking about it logically. I'm thinking about it super logically. Now, think about this in a logical way. Everyone gets reversed, but you stay the same. So wouldn't that really turn you into a teleporting thing because you could just reverse to a time where a door was open?
Yes. And that's how you solve one of the puzzles in the 4th episode. I won't spoil what it is, but that's how you solve it.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is she has the ability to stay in the same place, but she learns it later on.
No, she stays in the same place when she reverses time.
Only at that specific point, though. In one of the episodes, right, you break into a door and it sets an alarm off and all that.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking about, the puzzle she solves. You go through the door, then you reverse time, then you open it from the inside. So clearly...
you reverse time, you're still inside, so you open it from the inside, unlocking the door, therefore you don't set off the alarm kind of thing.
But this is the thing.
Teleporting, but...
Yes, it's teleporting, and it's also reversing time.
It's confusing.
Yes, but not only that, but there's when she's trying to prove to her best friend that she can time travel, why doesn't she just teleport?
This is the thing. Does that only happen once?
What happens within the next few seconds? Like, she's not impressed when you can tell her the items in her pockets, so you have to tell her the most specific details within the next 10 seconds. Why not just teleport and then do that too? Like, you can reverse time. You can just do that without consequences.
This is the thing.
In some of the playthrough, I had to physically write down what I had to remember because so much things would happen.
Exactly.
I had to
Isn't
write it down
fun?
to remember to complete it. Otherwise, I
this
wouldn't
is-
have just completed the game.
This is the thing. I've never played the game, but the way that you're saying it is like recalling the future, basically by
No.
observing it through like a time paradox, basically. So the images from that time period is
No.
kept in your mind, but your body is reverted back in time so that you can answer that. So you're actually getting information from the future, which I have been telling you from the last time. So basically, you have the ability to basically cheat on a test after looking at the answers from after the test, which means...
But the game has one specific rule, as Ben said. You can only
Reverse to a certain
time
point,
to a
which the
certain
game
point in the
breaks.
story.
Yeah, which the game
Right at
breaks.
the end.
It breaks the rule.
This is the thing. The game allowed you to teleport only in a certain section, which was the door, remember?
No,
Actually,
no,
You
no.
can teleport a certain amount of times in
No,
the game.
whenever you're playing the game and you have control and you can reverse time, you stay in the same spot.
Yeah, you don't
You
go
stand
back.
still.
So what you're saying is it's like you stop your own time, or you basically alter the timeline by removing your entire existence from that time,
No.
Right.
so
No,
that you're
you-
right
The
from
first,
later.
when you first start the game, right, and you're in the classroom, blah blah blah, you've just learned about your powers. Within the actual game, I was going to walk out the door, and the teacher calls me over, right? I have a conversation with the teacher. I didn't like the outcome, so I reversed time. I was still standing in front of the teacher, therefore I had to walk back over near the door to restart the whole conversation with the teacher, which is
yes.
what the game breaks because it's teleportation. Like, why didn't I reverse back to the door where he first
And the
called me
teacher-
over?
And the teacher
This is-
doesn't acknowledge that you ended up from in the middle of the room to standing in front of him. He doesn't go, what the hell? No, he doesn't do that.
See,
So,
that
in other
was
words-
really weird.
So in other words, you reverse the outcome to basically show yourself basically standing there for the entire time, and for some weird reason, no one asked any questions.
Yes, exactly. It's
You were just
teleportation, but no one questions it because Life is Strange is actually a terrible game.
Think of it this way, right? Right, I have this mysterious time power and all that.
No, Lachlan, let me explain it because, look, I'm more passionate about how to prove that Life is Strange isn't really that good. Don't get me wrong, it has
not
things that
saying
are
it's-
good.
I'm not saying it's great. I'm just trying to
You're
figure
trying to
out
understand it
how
because you've never
the
seen
time
them.
power works in that game, because there's different types of ways that the game could pronounce time travel.
Yeah, okay.
Well, let me try and explain it first, right? Think of it this way. I walk into your room, right? You noticed me there. I was having to chat about you, and I got angry at you, punched you, whatever. I know that wouldn't happen, but I could reverse the time, right? To before I come into your room, and then all of a sudden I stop rewinding time, and I appear in front of you. What would be your first thought?
But this is the thing. What if it's not like that, and in fact, it actually altered the time stream even back a little bit further?
No,
So,
nothing within the timeline changes. When you're reversing time, for example, like when you push a person, when you're reversing time, you see the person's reaction even though you aren't there because you're already okay, let's say you're walking to the end of a hallway.
I'm
and you
trying to
pass-
explain. I'm trying to explain
it's
to
hard
you.
to
but you're
explain.
not-
We're running out of time. We've got
Let
2 minutes.
let me explain in higher detail what I'm trying to say. So,
Alright.
what you're saying is that by time traveling, you have altered the time before you stop the time, which means basically you moved to that spot before you even at the time that you got to that time, and now you continue from that, so people wouldn't ask you why, because people would have asked you why, but you wouldn't have answered, which means that basically you're altering the time paradox. Many universe theory. Can I please stop trying to use my brain in an expanse of knowledge, because
Yeah.
if I
Alright.
keep
Let's say our
trying to...
goodbyes. Let's
All right,
say our
Jordan.
goodbyes.
Look, Fez, I can see where you're coming from, but it's not right because the game says that, okay, my explanation is that you're walking down a hallway, you accidentally bump into someone. When you're reversing time, you see the person's reaction to you, and then you go, and then when you finish reversing time, you're already at the destination you wanted to be at, but the person, and then because you didn't bump into the person, they don't react to it. But when you were reversing time, you could see it, even though the air that, for example, if you were breathing, like if you accidentally like breathed out on someone's neck while you were walking past there, like before you reversed, like if you breathe down their neck before you reverse, before the point that you reverse to, then they would still feel the breath. They would look behind you and there was nothing there.
How about we just say it was a terrible game mechanic that didn't really make any sense?
Yeah,
but
let's
they
just
tried to
say
make
it was developed by
sense.
Square Enix, so that would
It was
explain
an
everything.
alright game. It was an alright game.
It might have been
It's
an
just
alright game, but it had a mechanic that didn't really make sense.
It wasn't consistent. If it was consistent, I wouldn't be hating the game that much. But still, but because it is inconsistent and the dialogue is absolutely cringeworthy, that kind of just makes me not like the game. Like that ruins the game for me when the dialogue is not something that humans would say, even though it's being written by humans. But then again, they're human adults, and of course, as we all know, human adults do not know what teenagers say because they blocked out the memories of them being a teenager because it was the worst part of their life.
Alright, shall we finish this?
Yeah.
This has been Gaming for Australia. I have been the Fez.
I've been undead.
I'm bootleg Shockwave. I can't do outros.
He has been Beastmaster.
Mascot.
Mascot, whatever.
You fucked it up, Jordan. How could you do this?
You fucked it up before I fucked it.
I said I was bootleg Shockwave. I was being consistent. In the beginning, I said I was bootleg Shockwave, and at the end, I was bootleg Shockwave. Basically, fuck you. This is over. Goodbye.
Alright. See you guys
And don't forget to join us
next month
for
the
more
podcast.
podcasts.
Hopefully,
Next month.
well, unfortunately, we couldn't get Jack onto the podcast, but hey, we'll attempt it next time as soon as he, well, stops not liking Lachlan that much.
Bye.
Later.
I only have 1 week to live.